ape. And some people on social media get annoyed when I say we're apes, you know, religious types, Americans. One bloke said to me, "Speak for yourself, dude, I ain't no ape." And I sent back, "Well, you are, because we're all apes." He went, "Nah, what's a gorilla ever done? We've walked on the moon." I sent back, "What do you mean we? You've done fuck all. You've spelt moon wrong." It's weird, isn't it, when people take credit for the sort of rest of the species, because that's what's pushed civilization forward, you know, a few geniuses along the way. Like, there's 8 billion people on this planet. Most of us do nothing. We eat shit and die. Like, if there was a meteor heading towards Earth to definitely destroy it, 4 billion people would get down on their knees and pray to their particular god, and a few hundred scientists would work out how to get Bruce Willis up there to stop it. It's an odd concept, praying, for me. I can't work out how God decides. All those people praying at once for different things. Is it like best idea wins? Or is it a democracy? Like he puts things at each issue, he goes, right, votes for and against, you know? If it's a democracy, we're in trouble. We're a tiny nation. Like, next time there's a flood warning in the West Country, if we're all going, "Oh, I hope everyone's okay," if the whole of China is going, "Yeah, fuck Bristol," there's a billion of them. More about China later. But yeah, I've always found praying quite strange. Like, if I bump into a friend or neighbour and I know they've got a little kid, and I go, "Oh, how's so-and-so?" And they go, "Oh, not good. He's in intensive care. We don't know if he's going to pull through, but I pray every night." What I do, as an experiment, I go home and I pray twice that he doesn't make it. I don't do that. Years old as Homo sapiens. We've been around as hominids for a few million years, and of course, along with every other life form that exists at the moment, we've been evolving for 3.5 billion years. Everything that exists at the moment all came from the same little blob of organic matter 3.5 billion years ago. That's why it annoys me when people say, "Oh yeah, humans, we're the most evolved." We're not the most evolved. We're no more evolved than the slug or the snail. People go, "Oh, come on, look at them." Yeah, they got it right early doors. Nature keeps testing them. Do you want eyes? No. Not really. No. I have noticed one thing about the slug and the snail. Let's not split hairs, let's be honest. The snail is basically a slug with a shell on it, isn't it, right? But if you pull the shell off the snail, it starts giving it all, "Oh, I'm dying. And the slug is like, "Welcome to the real world." 35, 40, if you're lucky. You're born, you grow, you mate, you're playing with your kids, you get a cut, you go, "Oh, what's that, dead?" Right? But now with antibiotics in medicine, we've pushed that forward. A child born today can expect to live to about 100. And scientists said soon that'll be 120. And science also said that in the near future, there's no reason, with proper care and attention, that human beings won't regularly live to 150 years old, which is amazing until you remember that we get a set number of brain cells, right, which we only lose. You can't get them back. So in the future, there's going to be 15 billion people on the planet, you know. Half of them are going to be over 100, and they're all going to have Alzheimer's. It's going to be like Dawn of the Dead. It's going to be fucking horrible. My auntie died of Alzheimer's. I don't know how you die of Alzheimer's. She forgot to live. Right? And for the last couple of years, she was in her home, and my cousin, her only kid, used to visit her like once a week, and it got more and more depressing because soon she didn't recognize him, and then she didn't know who she was, or you know, and then she died. And at the funeral, we were sort of reminiscing about the good days, some of the funny, absent-minded things she said and did, and we realized, oh, probably that was the beginning of the disease before it was diagnosed. And this is a true story. Once, my cousin went home from work, and he went in, and she went, "Your tea's in the oven. I've had mine already." He went, "Oh, cheers, Mum." And it was like a fish pie, right? He ate the fish pie, and he went, "Oh, God." And he ran upstairs, vomited, went back down and went, "Mum, the fish is off. I've just been really sick." And she said, "Yeah, it made me really sick." not your grandparents. They grew up dodging bombs and their firstborn having polio and the menfolk dying at 50 of lung disease. They could take a fucking joke, right? It was all about the wind-up. I used to wind up my mum all the time. This is a true story. When I went off to university, after about a week, I phoned home. My mum answered. She went, "Hello?" I went, "It's Ricky." She went, "You all right?" I went, "Not really. I'm in hospital. I think I'm blind." She went, "What?" I went, "No, I'm only joking." Right? She went, "You silly bugger." She went, "I could have had a heart attack." Right? And she's right. She could have had a heart attack. And I knew that. That's how committed I am to having a laugh. Gervais, duh. Yeah. And they're sad that their baby's got AIDS, but they're sort of laughing along. "Ah, Armageddon, ha." And it gets to that bit, "Baby's got AIDS." And she goes, "Oh my God, Jeff, why are they all laughing at us and our baby with AIDS?" And Jeff goes, "Well, they're not laughing at us per se." She goes, "Well, they are. They've named us and everything. They're literally laughing at us in this bit." And Jeff goes, "Yeah, but we're a fictional couple with a fictional baby with AIDS. Anyone offended by that is a fucking moron." And then he goes, "And at least he didn't do the accent." So... And then she goes, "Yeah, but only because Jane begged him not to." Particularly working class kids, particularly from working class mums, because they're busy, they're doing everything. They're keeping men in check, they're bringing up kids, they're going to work, they're saving the world. They haven't got time. They have to frighten their kids into behaving well. They have to go to dark places to shock them into not fucking dying. Do you know what I mean? So, like, if I was little and my mum made my tea, and it wasn't my favourite, it was boiled potatoes instead of chips every day, and I went, "I don't like them," my mum would go straight to, "Of course you do. There's children your age in Africa and they're starving to death," right? And I go, "Jesus, all right." You know what I mean? The true story, I was 7 years old, right? And I'd been playing in the park and I came running in and my mum went, "Ricky, come here, sit down." There must have been a local pedo incident, right? And my mum went, "Never go in the toilets in the park again." And I went, "Why?" She knew she couldn't explain paedophilia to a 7-year-old, right? But this is what she came up with. She said, "Because there's a man going round and he's cutting little boys' willies off." I was like, "What? That's a fucking thing, is it? That's a..." I didn't sleep for a week. And it worked. I never went in those fucking toilets again. But she knew instinctively. If she'd have gone, "Ricky, come in, sit down. What's the matter? Never go in the toilets again." "Why not?" "There's a paedophile." "What's a paedophile?" "Oh, he's a man who gives you sweets and puppies." Bring it on, you know what I mean? At 7 years old, I'd wank off anyone for a puppy. I'd be like that, wouldn't it? Be like that. Gonna get a puppy here. I'm getting a puppy. I'm getting a puppy. Gonna get a puppy here. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, I cannot do it left-handed at all. Fucking hell, come on. Have you been drinking? Oh, Jesus Christ. Come on. Fucking hell. Oh. I've started, so I'll finish. Oh, fuck me. Oh, what sort of puppy is it? A what? A Labrador? Throw in a kitten, I'll give you a blowjob. I'll go over that. Kitten, puppy, come. Evidence of people murdered in the Holocaust, and he films them coming into a Jewish cemetery, and they each leave a stone on the grave to represent their family members that were murdered, and it builds up, and it's very moving. And so I think I get the ambiguity. Does it have a sad ending? Yes, in the sense that 6 million Jews pointlessly lost their life, but no, in the sense that there was still enough left over to build a little rockery. So... I asked one question myself on this. Is James Corden in it? I did look at one other film briefly, Titanic, right? And it's got all the same sort of questions. And the one where it goes, are any animals harmed? Someone answers, there were no explicit scenes of animals being harmed, but Rose did have a goldfish, which probably didn't make it. I think of the goldfish in the bowl on the sideboard when the boat hits the iceberg, and he's all like that, right? And people are running around going, we're going in the water. And he's all smug then, and he's going, don't worry about it. Oh, no, not water. Then he gets in the sea and he goes, well, it's very salty, isn't it? It's very salty. Barn. And the mother's suspicious, right? And she goes, is it Old Yeller all right? He went, yeah, he's fine. But the kid knows that he's been bitten, right? And soon, Old Yeller starts foaming at the mouth and, getting aggressive. And the mother turns up with a gun, and the kid goes, no. And she goes, you know we've got to do it, boy. He goes, yeah, but he's my dog. I'll do it. And he shoots his own dog. And I was like in floods for like a year, right? Anyway, fast forward, right, a few years ago, I was on tour, I was on a train, and I get a text from Jane, and she says, I'm finally watching Old Yeller. And I sent back, enjoy, right? I didn't think, right? 20 minutes later, I get a text. Nothing happens to that dog, does it? I couldn't believe my fucking luck. I thought she knew, so I sent back, no, of course not. 1 hour later, I get a text, you cunt. Thank you very much. Cheers. Thanks to everyone who bought a ticket. If you bought a platinum ticket, the money goes to an animal charity, and you've raised $2 million so far, so thank you so much. I even get a bit of stick about that on social media. There's always someone who goes, why do you only speak up for animals? And I go, well, because they haven't got a voice of their own except parrots. And I think that's why we don't eat parrots. Everyone around the world eats every other type of bird, don't they? Everyone in the world eats fucking chickens and ducks and geese and turkeys and ostriches. No one eats parrots. Do you know why? If you go and try and eat a parrot, it goes, fuck off, you cunt. So speaking up really does work, right? And that has sort of been one of the themes of the show, because I know in the real world, in normal jobs, everyday life, you get in trouble. People tell you off for saying certain things or thinking certain things or even laughing at certain things, right? They say you're bad for laughing at that. And some of you take it to heart. You go, oh my God, am I a bad person? No, you're not. One, you can't choose your sense of humor. You can't, it's involuntary. And two, that's exactly what humor is for, to laugh at bad shit, to get us through it, right? And... And we've established you can't even choose your own thoughts. How often have you been on a train station and you've suddenly thought, what if I just pushed that bloke? And then you go, why have I thought that? Am I a psychopath? No, you're not. You're the opposite. You're a safe pair of hands. You're testing yourself. You're reminding yourself how terrible that would be. You're a good person, right? I don't get that one. What I get is I'm talking to a really sweet old lady and I suddenly start thinking, what if I just spat in her face now? Why would I? Another theme of the show has been words change and I'm woke, haha. But here's the irony. I think I am woke, but I think that word has changed. I think if woke still means what it used to mean, that you're aware of your own privilege, you try and maximize equality, minimize oppression, be anti-racist, anti-sexist, anti-homophobic. Yes, I'm definitely woke. If woke now means being a puritanical, authoritarian bully who gets people fired for an honest opinion or even a fact, then no, I'm not woke. Fuck that. But here's the deal. To each their own, laugh at whatever you find funny. All laughter's good and you're amazing. Good night.